This is Audi's A7. It's what you get when you roll a sports coupe along with a full-size super luxury saloon into one. But I have to say here, the end result is quite good. You might look at the A7's face and say, hey, this looks like any other Audi. Except for minor variations, they do all look quite similar. And therefore, you wouldn't expect it to draw stares. But it does, and by the truckload. Look at it from the side and you can see that this is 1 in a million. At nearly 5 meters in length, it is long. And at under 1.5 meters, it is incredibly low. The result is dramatic. The way the roofline swoops back and down, the way the tail cuts off, the beautifully detailed tail lamps, the flip-out rear wing, boy oh boy, there are so many gorgeous bits. There is no doubt this is a head-turner. Pegged between Audi's A6 and the A8, the A7 really does try to give you the best of luxury. There is a sense of drama in the way the center screen flips out and the Bang & Olufsen tweeters pop out. The A7 standard kit includes 2-zone climate control, fuel-saving start-stop system, Audi's multimedia interface, and a parking system with a reverse camera. Things like ventilated seats and heads-up display are part of the extras list. And there's enough goodies there to pump up the price of the A7 by 20 lakhs. The cabin, in true Audi fashion, is classy and comfortable, though you do sit quite low down. The svelte, slippery exterior has led to some compromises. Now this is a really low car, so getting in means you have to kind of drop yourself inside. And once you're in the backseat, you'll realize that some compromises have been made for the roofline. It really swoops down, so the backrest hasn't been angled all that way back. It is quite upright, so that you end up getting more headroom. It gets lower as you go back. And despite that, taller people will have a bit of an issue here. The seat too is slightly on the lower side, so you don't get all that great under-thigh support. However, you do get good knee room, and really, for most people, just traveling around daily in the city, this is not going to be a bad place to be. The A7's practical quotient is upped by a big 535-litre boot. But then most of you would be keener on putting what's under the front lid to good use. Audi has packaged their 3-litre V6 diesel motor here. It now comes with higher injection pressures, new camshaft profiles, and a revised turbo. It's turned into an even more refined and efficient motor. The engine fits in quite neatly. It's got that nice smooth feel to it when you're cruising down the highway. And if you want that overtaking maneuver, you just need to put your foot down. It's got enough get up and go to just zip right through. That's because it has 245 bhp of power and 51 kgm of torque. That's available from 1400 rpm all the way to 3250 rpm. The dual clutch transmission takes the potency up almost 7 times with its 7 cogs. It zips from 20 to 80 in 4.39 seconds and will easily overtake a train of cars. 40 to 100 km an hour is knocked off in 5.3 seconds. From standstill, the A7 will whiz to 100 in 6.6 seconds. That is undoubtedly quick. The 5-link front suspension and trapezoidal link setup at the rear uses air springs and can be tailored to deliver a strong dynamic experience. All you need to do is choose the dynamic mode. It stiffens the dampers, raises up the steering wheel, and the drivetrain also feels more aggressive. The A7 is a big car, but thanks to the Quattro system, it just feels like it's running on rails around corners. The air suspension and the Quattro give this 1.9-ton car incredible poise. There really is lots of grip on tap, and body control is nice and tight. No rolling around corners here. You can go flat out and turn this way or that, but the A7 remains unruffled. However, Audi have kept from making the A7 a pin-sharp driver's car only. Some of that is also because of the insipid steering.
The steering feels a bit vague, especially around the dead ahead position. So when you're turning in, it doesn't give you that confidence of placing the car where you want it to be around corners like this.
So while the A7 is unbelievably confident, poised and good fun for the occasional run up the mountain, how does it cater to those seeking comfort? Once set to comfort mode, the A7 really puts its best foot forward.
The A7 suspension is quite pliant, so it just glides over our roads, even over poor surfaces.
The ride is hugely pliant, though every now and then, typical Audi traits do crop up.
Though some broken patches and sharp edges can catch it out, and those end up filtering through to the cabin.
Despite that, the A7 acquits itself very well as a long-distance mile muncher that can ferry its occupants in a luxurious setting.
What eats into that sense of relaxed luxury while cruising in the A7 is the fact that road noise just intrudes into the cabin, and it's all the more worse on concrete.
The A7 really tries to cover many bases: sporty, comfortable, frugal, luxurious. But has it stretched itself too thin? Though the A7 does fall short in some areas, it still remains a car that's hard to resist.
So the A7 feels like a nice GT. Its performance and handling is strong, confident, though not all that exciting. Out on the highway, it really does cruise very effortlessly, and it is comfortable to be in as well, though you do get some amount of road noise filtering in. The rear bench is tight on headroom. 3 people in it will be a squeeze, but on the whole, I have to say it is pretty comfortable, though not comparable with maybe full-size luxury saloons. But then this is no luxury saloon. There's just that excitement and that appeal, just like an aura surrounding it. And somebody who's looking at the A7 is looking for all of that without compromising too much on comfort and practicality. Of course, there is an extra cost, but then it will be a very exclusive lot that will get their hands on the A7, as only about 100 to 150 of them are going to make it to Indian shores this year.
After this break, Hormuz tells you what Fiat has got lined up for the Indian market.